Sister wives Robyn Brown steps in as Kody's wife for her ex-husband's cancer treatment. She stole Kody's money and sent it to her ex-husband for medical treatment, but Kody didn't realize it. Hello, friends. Welcome to the Daily Gossip News Update. I'm Olivia, and I hope you're well by God's grace. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for more updates. In a shocking twist that no one in the Sister Wives world could have predicted, it has come to light that Robyn Brown, Kody Brown's remaining wife, quietly stepped back into the life of her ex-husband when he was diagnosed with cancer, and she did it with Kody's money. This deeply emotional and scandalous story has blindsided Kody, the Brown family, and fans alike. How could Robyn, the woman who often proclaimed her loyalty to Kody, channel his hard-earned resources to another man? Was it love, guilt, or simply compassion? And more importantly, what will happen now that Kody has learned the truth? Let's dive into the explosive revelations of Robyn's secret mission to save her ex-husband's life and the consequences that followed. A family already in turmoil. When the cameras stopped rolling after Sister Wives Season 19, the Brown family was already fractured beyond repair. Kody, once the patriarch of a proud polygamist family, was down to just one wife, Robyn, after Christine, Janelle, and Mary left him over the years. The family's financial health was crumbling, his relationships with most of his children were strained, and public sympathy for him was at an all-time low. Robyn, always seen as the emotional one, often depicted sobbing and begging for the family to stay together, remained steadfast at his side, or so it seemed. Behind the scenes, Robyn was fighting another battle. Her ex-husband's life was hanging by a thread. The phone call that changed everything. It all started on a quiet November evening. According to a source close to Robyn, she received a phone call from her ex-husband, David Preston Jessup. Once married to Robyn and the father of her three oldest children, Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna, David had long been estranged from her after their bitter divorce. On the call, David revealed he'd been diagnosed with late-stage lymphoma. He was terrified, alone, and financially destitute after years of struggling with odd jobs and declining health. The treatment he needed, an aggressive mix of chemotherapy, surgery, and immunotherapy, would cost more than he could ever afford. Robyn reportedly broke down in tears after hearing his voice. She still cared, said the source. Even though she'd left him and painted him as cruel on television, she still carried guilt over how things ended. She felt responsible, especially since he was the father of her kids. The dilemma: love, duty, or deception. Robyn was torn. On the one hand, she was now Kody's wife, and her loyalty and finances belonged to him. On the other hand, how could she watch the father of her children waste away without at least trying to help? At first, she told David she couldn't help. But as the days passed, she watched her kids, particularly Dayton and Aurora, grow depressed after learning their biological father was sick. Dayton stopped attending his college classes, Aurora began crying herself to sleep, and Brianna refused to talk about it at all. I think that's when she made up her mind, the source continued. It wasn't just about David anymore. It was about her kids. She couldn't stand seeing them suffer. The secret bank transfers. Robyn knew there was no way she could ask Kody for money to help her ex-husband. Kody despised David, and he was already bitter about supporting Robyn's children, whom he had adopted years earlier, while the rest of the family walked away. So Robyn got creative. Over the next 6 months, Robyn allegedly transferred more than $120,000 from Kody's shared accounts into a separate account in her name. Using various excuses, paying household bills, tuition fees for Dayton, or medical costs for the kids, she funneled money into the secret fund and then wired it to David under the guise of child-related expenses. David, in turn, used the money to begin his treatments. He even relocated temporarily to Salt Lake City to receive care at a top cancer center. Meanwhile, Kody remained blissfully unaware. Kody's growing suspicion. Though Kody didn't notice the missing money right away, he did notice changes in Robyn. She started spending more time in private phone calls, stepping outside to talk, whispering, and being generally more distant, said a family insider. Kody assumed she was just stressed about the family situation. But Kody also noticed that his financial situation was becoming increasingly strained. He began complaining on camera and off about the constant expenses, claiming he couldn't even afford to fix his truck or pay off the Coyote Pass property. Ironically, some of those very funds had already gone to his wife's ex-husband. The cancer battle intensifies. As David's treatment continued, his prognosis improved slightly, but not without setbacks. Robyn reportedly drove to see him secretly on at least 3 occasions, claiming to Kody that she was visiting her mother or taking the kids for counseling. On one such trip, she even brought Aurora and Dayton to see their father. Photographs obtained by tabloids show Robyn arriving at a hospital in Salt Lake City, wearing a scarf and sunglasses, ushering her children through a side entrance. They hugged him like they hadn't seen him in years, a witness said. It was emotional. There were tears all around. Robyn's emotional confession. It wasn't until Kody stumbled upon an email on Robyn's laptop that the truth began to unravel. The email contained billing statements from the cancer center, addressed to David, and proof of wire transfers from Robyn's account. At first, Kody thought it was a mistake. But when he confronted Robyn, she broke down. In an emotional confession, she admitted everything. The phone call, the money, the hospital visits, and even the nights she spent by his bedside. She insisted it wasn't about romantic love. It was about saving the father of her children. I couldn't let him die, Robyn reportedly sobbed. Not when I could do something about it. You would have hated me more if I let our kids lose their dad. Kody's rage. Kody did not take the news well. According to multiple sources, Kody flew into a rage, shouting that Robyn had betrayed him, stolen from him, and made a fool out of him. In one explosive argument that reportedly lasted several hours, he threatened to divorce her and demanded she pay back every penny. Robyn, in turn, stood her ground. You've wasted money on houses we never lived in, land we'll never build on, and cars we didn't need, she allegedly fired back. This was the one time I spent money on something that actually mattered. The children's plea. Caught in the middle were Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna. The kids reportedly begged Kody to forgive their mother and even defended her actions. Dayton confronted Kody, saying, "If Mom didn't help him, you would have had to bury him. You don't want that on your conscience." Aurora added through tears, "She did what you wouldn't have done. She saved our dad." Kody, stunned by their words, reportedly stormed out and didn't return home for 2 days. The aftermath. Where do they stand now? As of now, Kody and Robyn remain together, but sources say the tension between them is palpable. They're not sleeping in the same room, said one insider. Kody is still furious. He feels humiliated and betrayed, but at the same time, he can't bring himself to leave. He has no one else. Robyn, for her part, has been seen attending therapy and spending more time with her children than ever before. David, meanwhile, is reportedly in remission. Though he still requires follow-up treatments, he has regained his strength and even reconnected with his children on a deeper level. Fan reactions. Fans of Sister Wives are divided on the issue. Some sympathize with Robyn, praising her for putting her children's needs above all else. Say what you want about Robyn, but she's a mother first, one fan tweeted. She did what any mother would do. Others, however, are furious that she used Kody's money without his knowledge. She had no right, wrote another viewer. If she wanted to help her ex, she should have gotten a job instead of stealing from Kody. What does this mean for the future of Sister Wives? The scandal has reportedly caught the attention of TLC producers, who are eager to document the drama for the next season. A production insider said, "This is exactly the kind of real-life conflict that makes the show compelling. We're already filming interviews with the kids, Robyn, and even Kody about what happened." Whether the family will survive this latest blow remains to be seen. Robyn Brown's decision to secretly help her ex-husband through his cancer battle, using Kody's money, has shaken the foundation of the already fragile Brown family. Was it an act of betrayal? Or was it a mother's desperate attempt to keep her children from losing their father? Perhaps it was both. In the end, this saga has revealed more about Robyn's character than any season of Sister Wives ever could. She is flawed, emotional, and fiercely protective of her children, even if it means deceiving the man who stood by her when no one else would. One thing is certain: the fallout from this revelation will haunt the Browns for years to come. Kody Brown's shocking proposal. Janelle and Mary refuse to sign away their property and return to the family. In what can only be described as yet another bizarre twist in the sister-wives saga, Kody Brown reportedly tried to lure his ex-wives, Janelle and Mary, back into the family fold, but with a catch. According to sources close to the family, Kody approached Janelle and Mary earlier this year with a formal written contract. His proposal? That they return their share of the family property, specifically Coyote Pass, back to him, and, in exchange, they could rejoin the family as his wives. But both women rejected his offer outright, sparking yet another chapter in the long and bitter story of Kody's collapsing polygamous empire. Let's dive deep into the full story: how it began, how Kody thought this plan would work, why Janelle and Mary refused, and what this means for the Brown family going forward. The fallout after the breakups. The events that led up to this shocking proposal began years ago, as Kody's relationships with his wives began to crumble. Christine was the first to leave, packing her bags and moving to Utah with her new love, David Woolley. Janelle followed next, after enduring years of neglect and disrespect from Kody, and finally realizing she deserved better. Mary, long-suffering and sidelined for nearly a decade, was the last to announce her departure, choosing peace and independence over the chaos of Kody's fractured household. When the dust settled, Kody was left with only Robyn, the one wife he openly favored. But the breakup wasn't just emotional, it was also financial. The land at Coyote Pass, purchased years earlier, was divided on paper between Kody and his wives. Each of them had a legal claim to a parcel of the property, and after the breakups, Kody became obsessed with regaining full control over the land. Kody's growing obsession with Coyote Pass. Friends say Kody became fixated on the idea of building a legacy home on Coyote Pass, a sprawling mansion to house him, Robyn, and all the children who still wanted to visit. But there was one problem: he no longer controlled all the land. Janelle and Mary each still owned their portions, and both women refused to sell them back. To make matters worse, Christine, though she had already signed over her share when she moved to Utah, publicly mocked the idea of Kody ever building anything there. Kody can't stand the idea of his ex-wives having any power over him, a family insider shared. He wanted all the land back under his name, and he thought he could manipulate Janelle and Mary into giving it up. The contract, Kody's brilliant plan. In an effort to regain control, Kody had a formal contract drafted. The document, which was later leaked to a tabloid, outlined the following terms. Janelle and Mary would sign over their shares of Coyote Pass to Kody, relinquishing all rights to the property. In exchange, Kody would welcome them back into the family, restoring their wife status. He would also agree to include them in his future financial plans for the property, but only after they signed. Kody allegedly believed that both women still harbored feelings for him and that the chance to rejoin the family would be too tempting to pass up. He genuinely thought they'd jump at the opportunity, said the insider. In his mind, they'd been waiting for him to call them back. The presentation: awkward and arrogant. Kody reportedly arranged a private meeting with Janelle and Mary at a neutral location, not at Robyn's house, to present the contract. Witnesses say Kody showed up wearing a suit, carrying a leather briefcase, and acting like a businessman rather than a husband. He reportedly began the meeting by declaring, "We've all made mistakes, but I believe we can heal this family. I'm willing to forgive if you're willing to sign." According to those present, both Janelle and Mary sat in stunned silence as he laid out his plan, sliding the contracts across the table toward them. Janelle reportedly glanced at the papers briefly, then looked up at Kody and laughed. "You've got to be kidding me," she said. Janelle's fierce response. Of the two women, Janelle was the first to speak her mind. "You think after everything you've done to me, to us, I'm going to just hand over my property and come running back to you?" she allegedly told him. "That land is my investment for my kids. It's not yours to take." Janelle reportedly reminded Kody of how he'd abandoned her emotionally, left her to fend for herself financially, and failed to support her through the hardest years of their marriage. "You didn't care about me then. And you don't care about me now. You just want my land," she added. Mary's quiet strength. Mary's response was quieter, but equally powerful. She reportedly read through the contract slowly, then set it down and looked Kody in the eye. "You made it very clear I wasn't wanted," she said. "For years, you pushed me away, humiliated me, ignored me. Now you want me back because you need something from me. No, Kody. No." She then stood up, gathered her things, and left the meeting without another word. Kody's outburst. Sources say that after both women rejected his offer, Kody became enraged. He stood up, slammed his hand on the table, and started shouting about loyalty and family. One witness shared. He accused them of destroying the family and said they were being greedy. Janelle reportedly responded bluntly, "We're not the greedy ones here, Kody. You are." The meeting ended with Kody storming out, leaving the contracts behind. Robyn's role in the scheme. Interestingly, Robyn was reportedly not present at the meeting, but many believe she was behind the idea. Some family members claim it was Robyn who suggested drafting a contract in the first place, hoping to consolidate control of the property and eliminate any lingering ties to the other wives. "She's been trying to erase them from Kody's life for years," the insider said. This was just the latest attempt. However, Robyn has denied any involvement, insisting she supports Kody's efforts to rebuild the family. Public reaction. When news of Kody's proposal leaked to the press, fans were quick to condemn him. Social media exploded with outrage, with hashtags like Team Janelle and Team Mary trending for days. One fan tweeted, "Kody thinking Janelle and Mary would crawl back to him just for the privilege of giving him their land is peak delusion." Another wrote, "Good for them. They don't owe him a thing." Even some of Kody's own children reportedly sided with their mothers, calling his actions manipulative and selfish. The future of Coyote Pass. Without Janelle and Mary's shares of the property, Kody's dream of building his legacy home remains on hold. Construction crews that were briefly seen on the property have since packed up and left, and the land continues to sit empty, a dusty, barren reminder of a family that once dreamed of building something together. Janelle has made it clear she plans to keep her parcel for her children to inherit someday, while Mary is reportedly considering selling her share, but not to Kody. She'd rather sell it to a stranger than give it back to him, one source said. Kody's continued denial. Despite everything, Kody has refused to admit defeat. In a recent interview, he downplayed the failed proposal, calling it a misunderstanding and insisting that the door is always open for his ex-wives to return. But privately, sources say he is furious and feels humiliated. He thought he could control them like he used to, one insider explained. But they've grown stronger without him, and he can't handle that. A symbol of independence. For both Janelle and Mary, refusing to sign the contract wasn't just about the land. It was about standing up for themselves. After years of feeling ignored and undervalued, both women have found their voices and are determined to live life on their own terms. In a recent social media post, Janelle wrote, "Sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away and never look back." Mary posted a cryptic message of her own. "The future is mine. And it doesn't include settling for less than I deserve." What's next for the Browns? The Brown family story is far from over. With Kody's desperation mounting and tensions between him and his ex-wives at an all-time high, many wonder how much longer he and Robyn can cling to the idea of family. TLC cameras have reportedly captured much of the drama surrounding the failed contract negotiations, and producers are said to be thrilled with the footage. One producer even hinted, "Viewers are going to see a side of Kody they've never seen before, and it's not pretty." Kody Brown's ill-fated attempt to regain control of Coyote Pass and his ex-wife's loyalty has backfired spectacularly. Instead of bringing the family back together, his scheme has only driven them further apart and solidified Janelle and Mary's resolve to live independently. It seems the Brown family's polygamous dream has officially ended, replaced by a fractured legacy and empty land. As one fan summed it up, Kody thought he was the sun, that everyone would revolve around him. But Janelle and Mary finally realized they're stars in their own right. Kody Brown opens up. Kody was always focused on Robyn. Our love faded after she arrived. For years, viewers of Sister Wives watched Kody Brown smile through her tears, trying to hold her family and her marriage together. But behind the bright smile and cheerful demeanor was a woman whose heart was slowly breaking as she watched her husband's love slip away. In an emotional revelation that has left fans both heartbroken and outraged, Kody has admitted what many suspected all along. Kody Brown was always focused on Robyn, and their love began to wane almost the moment Robyn entered the plural marriage. Here is the full, dramatic story of how Kody's marriage unraveled and how she finally found the courage to walk away. A once happy beginning. When Kody married Kody in 1994, she believed she was stepping into a life of love, unity, and shared purpose. As Kody's third wife, after Mary and Janelle, she brought warmth and joy to the family. Kody, a devout believer in plural marriage, saw her role as a caretaker not only to Kody, but also to her sister wives and their children. For years, Kody was known as the peacemaker of the family, mediating disputes, managing household duties, and raising her children with boundless love. "I loved the family we built," Kody once said in a confessional. "It wasn't perfect, but it was ours." But everything changed in 2010 when Robyn entered their lives. Robyn's arrival. When Kody announced he was courting a fourth wife, Kody admits she was shocked, but she tried to be supportive. "I thought, okay, this is what plural marriage is about," Kody later said. "We make room for more love." But from the very beginning, Kody sensed that something was different. Kody was completely enamored with her, Kody revealed. "I thought it was just the excitement of a new relationship and it would balance out over time. But it never did." Kody began noticing that Kody spent more and more time at Robyn's house, often choosing to stay there even on nights he was scheduled to be with her or the other wives. The kids would ask, "Where's Dad?" And I'd have to make excuses, Kody recalled, being overlooked and unseen. As months turned into years, Kody felt herself becoming invisible to Kody. "He stopped looking at me the way he used to," she said. "He stopped listening to me. Everything I said seemed to annoy him. But when Robyn spoke, he was all ears." Family events that had once been joyous occasions began to feel strained, with Kody often seated next to Robyn, holding her hand or whispering in her ear, while Kody sat on the sidelines. "It felt like I was watching my marriage die, and I was powerless to stop it," she confessed. The emotional toll. Kody admits that during this time, she struggled with depression and self-doubt. "I started wondering if I wasn't pretty enough, or good enough, or spiritual enough," she said. "I thought, maybe if I try harder, he'll notice me again." But no matter how hard she tried, cooking his favorite meals, dressing up, planning romantic moments, nothing seemed to rekindle the spark between them. One of the most painful moments came when Kody refused to be intimate with her. "He told me he didn't feel that way about me anymore," Kody said, her voice cracking. "I felt humiliated." The kids noticed, too. Kody's children also noticed the growing distance between their parents. "My kids would ask why Dad never came over," she said. "It broke my heart to see them feeling abandoned." One of her daughters reportedly told her, "Mom, he only loves Robyn." Those words stayed with Kody and became a turning point. "I realized that staying in a loveless marriage was teaching my kids the wrong thing about what love should look like," she explained. "I couldn't do that to them or to myself." Confronting Kody. At one point, Kody finally confronted Kody about his behavior. "I asked him if he still loved me," she said. "He just looked at me and said, 'I don't know.'" When she asked why he spent all his time with Robyn, Kody reportedly told her that Robyn needed him more and that she was more cooperative. "That crushed me," Kody said. "I'd given him decades of my life, and he thought of me as a burden." Deciding to leave. After years of feeling ignored, unwanted, and unloved, Kody made the difficult decision to leave. "I thought about it for a long time," she admitted. I prayed about it. I cried about it. But one morning I woke up and knew I couldn't live like this anymore. She packed her things, told her children, and prepared to move back to Utah, where she had family and support. When she told Kody, his reaction was cold. He didn't try to stop me, Christine said. He just shrugged and said, "If that's what you want." The final goodbye. On the day Christine left, she stood in the doorway of her home one last time and took a deep breath. "I felt free," she said. "For the first time in years, I felt like myself again." Her children rallied around her, helping her move and settling into their new life without Kody. "It was hard at first," she admitted, "but every day it got easier. And every day, I felt stronger." A new chapter. Since leaving, Christine has blossomed. She found love again with David Woolley, a kind, attentive man who makes her feel cherished. "David looks at me the way I always wanted Kody to," she said. "He makes me feel seen." Christine has also become more independent, starting her own business ventures, spending time with her children and grandchildren, and embracing life fully. "I didn't realize how unhappy I was until I left," she said. "Now, I can't stop smiling." The family's reaction. Not everyone in the Brown family was supportive of Christine's decision. Kody, predictably, called her selfish and accused her of destroying the family. Robyn was visibly upset, crying on camera and saying she felt betrayed. But Janelle, who later left Kody herself, supported Christine wholeheartedly. "Christine did what she had to do," Janelle said. "She deserves to be happy." Even Mary, despite her own complicated feelings toward Christine, admitted she was brave. Fans' reactions. Fans of Sister Wives overwhelmingly rallied behind Christine. Social media was flooded with messages of support, with hashtags like Team Christine and You Deserve Better trending for days. One fan tweeted, "Christine was the heart of the family. Kody didn't deserve her." Another wrote, "Watching her walk away was the most inspiring thing I've ever seen." Christine's message to women everywhere. Christine hopes her story can inspire other women who feel trapped in toxic relationships. "It's okay to leave," she said. "It's okay to choose yourself." She added, "For years, I thought my worth came from making everyone else happy. But I've learned that I matter, too. And so do you." Kody's perspective. Kody, for his part, has maintained that he did nothing wrong. In interviews, he said that Christine gave up too easily and didn't respect the family structure. But some insiders claim Kody regrets how things ended. He'll never admit it publicly, one source said. But losing Christine hit him hard. Christine's journey is a powerful reminder that love cannot survive without respect, attention, and care. Her story also shows that it's never too late to start over. "You deserve to be loved completely," Christine said. "Don't settle for anything less." Christine Brown's admission that Kody was always focused on Robyn and that their love faded because of it is heartbreaking but not surprising. Her courage in walking away from a loveless marriage and building a new, happy life serves as an inspiration to millions. While Kody may never understand what he lost, Christine has found peace, love, and joy, and that is the best revenge of all. As Christine herself put it, "I thought my story was over when I left. But really it was just beginning."